Okay, so we have discussed the two modes of asexual reproduction, fission and budding. So the third mode of asexual reproduction we are going to discuss is fragmentation. It's very simple. Fragmentation is very simple. First, the parent organism breaks into numerous fragments. Okay, first the organism breaks into numerous fragments and these fragments grows into a complete organism. That is fragmentation. So the parent organism breaks into a number of fragments which develops into a new organism, and it takes place mainly in case of multicellular organisms that have a simple body organization. An example is Spirogyra. Okay, Spirogyra is the example for fragmentation. So this is the parent cell. The parent cell divides into 3 fragments here, and each fragment will develop into a new Spirogyra. So this is the process of fragmentation. Clear or no? Okay. So next method of asexual reproduction is regeneration. So the main example for regeneration is planaria. Okay, planaria is the main example for an organism which shows regeneration. So it also takes place in organisms like Hydra. So when some simple organisms, in case of some simple organisms, when any body part is lost from that organism, okay, and that body part they can regenerate. They can regenerate that lost body part to a new organism. So this is regeneration. So regeneration takes place in case of simple organisms. Examples are Hydra and planaria. So when a broken old part is lost from their body, this old part can develop into a new organism. This is regeneration. Okay, you have heard the word regenerate, isn't it? So in regeneration, from a broken old part, a new organism is developed. So there are certain specialized cells to carry out this process of regeneration. Okay, specialized cells are there to divide and differentiate, the broken old part to form a new individual. So these cells multiply to form a mass of cells, and this develops into a new organism. Then there is an organized sequence in regeneration. So this if we take this example, this is the parent organism, these are the broken old fragments, and later these fragments develop into a new organism by the process of cell multiplication. So this regeneration follows an organized sequence, and we call it as development. This organized sequence, we name it as development, the process of development. So the organisms which show regeneration are Hydra and planaria. Okay students, moving on to our next mode of asexual reproduction, that is vegetative propagation. So this type of reproduction takes place from vegetative parts of the plant. So this vegetative propagation is a type of asexual reproduction mainly in plants, and in plants there are certain vegetative parts like stem, root, leaves, etc., and reproduction takes place with the help of these vegetative parts. Okay, so there mainly we use stem. In our garden we have seen that for rose plant, for propagation of a rose plant, we use the stem cuttings, isn't it? So these are all vegetative propagules. These stems, roots and leaves are parts that help in this vegetative propagation. So coming to the methods of vegetative propagation by natural means, the first one is by roots, vegetative propagation by roots. An example is adventitious roots of dahlias. Then by stems, an example is potato and another example is ginger. So in case of potato, there is a modified version of stem known as tuber, and in ginger a modified version of stem known as rhizome, and a new plant will develop from these modified versions of stem. Okay. Then vegetative propagation by leaves, an example is the bryophyllum plant. In case of bryophyllum plant, its leaves will have small buds at the margins of leaves, and from these buds the new plant will develop. Okay, coming to the artificial methods of vegetative propagation. So this is not there in your NCERT textbook. You just have to know the names only. Okay, artificial methods. First one, grafting. An example is mango tree. Second, cutting. Example, rose. Third, layering. Example, jasmine. And fourth one, tissue culture. Example, orchids and ornamental plants. Okay. So you have heard about tissue culture. As from a tissue of a plant part, a new plant will be developed. This is the demonstration of a process of tissue culture. A new plant is developed with the help of a tissue. Then there are some benefits for this vegetative propagation. Okay, first one is that the plants produced from vegetative propagation can have fruits and flowers earlier than those produced from seeds. Okay, the flowers and fruits will be produced earlier from those produced from seeds. Second one is that in case of some plants, they haven't got the capacity to produce seeds. For example, banana, orange, rose, jasmine, these don't have the capacity to produce seeds. For growing such plants, vegetative propagation is the only option. Third one, genetical similarity. Okay, all the offsprings produced by vegetative propagation will be genetically similar. And the last one, it helps to produce seedless fruits. Okay, coming to our last mode of asexual reproduction, that is spore formation. So, an example for an organism showing spore formation is Rhizopus. In case of Rhizopus, it has a bulb-like structure known as sporangia. Okay, a bulb-like structure known as sporangia, and the sporangia contain tiny spores. Okay, so sporangia are bulb-like structures with thick walls, and these contain tiny spores. So these spores are hidden during unfavorable conditions. These spores will be hidden inside the sporangia, and the sporangia gives them a protection. When favorable conditions returns, these spores will germinate and produce a new rhizopus. This is the process of spore formation. So spores present inside sporangia, and they are protected inside the sporangia, and these spores under favorable conditions germinate and produce a new rhizopus. So this is our last mode of asexual reproduction, that is spore formation. Hope it's clear. If you have any doubts,